All right, so now we're going to talk about horizontal translation. So this is the graph moving left to right. And this does, students do tend sometimes to get this backwards. We are going to shift our function horizontally by using what we call an inside change. So we're changing the input. So we're going to say this is an inside change because we have changed the input. And this is in contrast with the vertical change, which is really an outside change. So our vertical shift, sorry, I said the wrong thing, where we said, oh, we're going to take our function and we're just going to add a constant onto it. This we would call an outside change because it's outside of the core function. So here, if d is greater than 0, the graph is shifting to the right by d units. And if d is less than 0, it's shifting to the left. But keep in mind that that is separate from the minus sign in here. So that means if we have f of x minus 2, that is moving the graph to the right 2 units. But f of x plus 2 is moving left because this is really f of x minus negative 2. So movement is kind of opposite the sign, and since I have trouble with this because I got issues with telling my left from my right, I think about, okay, what value of x do I need to plug in to make it f of 0? And that tells me exactly where the graph is moving to. So, either remember the movement is opposite the sign, but our template is f of x minus a number, or think about it my way and say, what value of x do I need to plug in to make that inside the parentheses equal to 0? Or think about maybe, if neither of those works for you, come up with something else, right? Okay. So here we have an example. We've got f of x equals x cubed, and then we're going to make it f of x equals x plus 1 quantity cubed, and f of x equals x minus 3 quantity cubed. Do not multiply these things out. That's a huge mistake. So this one, we can look at this and we say, okay, it's almost like a composition of functions, right? I've got my inside, I'm going to do it up here, inside change, and we're going to say, okay, if I plug in x equals negative 1, that'll make it f of 0. So this is 1 unit left that we're shifting. So every point on here is just going to be 1 unit left, 1 unit left, 1 unit left, right? Just like that. And we had 2, 8, it's going to move to here. Negative 2, negative 8 is going to move to here. And we can say, oh, look, there it is, except I didn't quite line my graphs up quite right. F of x equals x minus 3 quantity cubed, same story. Inside change, we're going to move 3 units to the right. I wrote 3 again. And so here, let's see, we've got, let's make it green. Our origin is going to move 1, 2, 3. This one's going to move 1, 2, 3. This one's going to move 1, 2, 3, and we can just kind of sketch it from there, but it's going to pop up for us. All right. So one more, I think, and yeah. So here we've got f of x equals square root of x for our base function, and we've got our function up here. Then we've got f of x equals square root of x minus 2. So inside our function here is telling us we're moving right 2 units. And that, of course, is going to change our domain on this one, right? Because our domain for our original function is x has to be greater than or equal to 0. Now, if we move the whole thing to the right by 2, then we're looking at, so our 4, 2 is going to be 6, 2. And we can say, okay, there's our function. I got that one pretty close. It's going to change our domain, right? So that it's going to just now be greater than or equal to 2. And what about the square root of x plus 4. Our inside change here, we're going to go left 2 units. So my 0, 0 is going to move to the left to negative 2, 0. My 1, 1 is going to move left to negative 1, 1. My 4, 2 is going to move left by 4 units. Oops, we moved, oh no. Can't count here, left 4 units, because y'all are like going, what the heck is she doing? Right? It's 4 units, not 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are, right there. For 0, 0, 1, 1 is going to move 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2 is going to move 4 units. So here to the origin, or to the y-axis, and then we can kind of sketch. So our domain for this one, x greater than or equal to, obviously, negative 4. And my graph's going to look a little bit better on that one than my horrible sketch. So that's a good place to pause in this video, and next up we'll talk about reflections.